What's up guys? My name is Dayvon and today I'll be showing you how to use the Macrodose with bass guitar. The Macrodose is an envelope filter created in collaboration with Brian Marshall of Subdecay. The Macrodose works with many different instruments such as bass guitar, electric guitar, and synthesizers, but today I'm specifically going to be showing you how to use it with the bass guitar. It's an analog filter with digital control, but the really cool thing about the Macrodose is it has the addition of a blend and volume knob. So you can bring back some of that low end with your bass using the blend knob, and it is life-changing. I'm not going to tuck your ear off too much about the pedal because there is a lot to unpack and I want to dive straight into getting to that, but it does include an auto wah feature, selectable waveforms, sample and hold functions, and that's just to name a few. There's so many functions that you can get out of this pedal to really explore your creative itch. So right now let's go ahead and jump into the setup so I can show you the functions, the overall functions that this pedal has to offer. Okay, so now I am here with the Macrodose pedal. I'm going to be going over all of the standard knobs that are on the Macrodose envelope filter. First, I'm not going to go into every specific parameter and everything that is on this pedal because it's pretty extensive, which is really great. The really good thing about this pedal, but we'll save that for another video if you guys want a super in-depth over all of the functions you can do with this thing, because the possibilities literally are endless. But for now, I'm going to just kind of break it down so you guys get the standard idea of what the Macrodose envelope filter does. So we're going to start with the basics, starting with the volume and the blend knob. Now the volume is just going to control your clean volume output and how loud the pedal is going to be overall. Pretty self-explanatory, but the really cool thing about this pedal in specific is the blend knob, especially for bass, because when you're messing with any type of filter with the bass, you tend to dive into losing that lower end of your bass guitar, which as a bassist you never truly want to do, even when you're experimenting with something like this. So it's nice to have the blend knob so you can find the creative tone that you want or effect that you want. You can dial this blend knob back some and bring back some of your actual bass guitar tone so you get the best of both worlds, both the bass guitar and the heavily affected sound that you're going for. So that's a really great feature on this pedal. One of my favorites, in all honesty. So the cool thing about the Macrodose envelope filter is you can take the audio or signal going through the pedal and adjust it via shapes, which leads me to the shape knob. I'm probably not going to go through every shape that you can make on this filter because that's a lot of shapes, but I'll go through some of my favorites a little bit later in this video. And for the sake of explaining everything in this video, for this example, we'll be using the triangle shape. Once you choose a shape, there are three main knobs you can use that will heavily affect the sound of that shape. Those three knobs are depth, resonance, and frequency. The depth knob controls how deeply the pedal will affect your sound. The resonance knob controls how much resonating frequencies you're going to hear from the effect. And it's much more obvious when you listen to higher frequencies. The frequency knob is going to change what frequencies are emphasized by the envelope filter. Last but not least, we have the warp knob. The warp knob affects how frequently the shape affects the signal. Up next, we have the mode selection knob. With the mode knob, we have a step filter function, an LFO function, and a warped LFO function. And with all three of these functions, you have different preset speeds that you can select. Next up, we have the frequency selection switch. The frequency selection switch will select which range of frequencies will be affected by the envelope filter. With the high pass, it will select the high frequencies to be affected. The low pass, it will select the low frequencies. And with the band pass, it will be a select band of frequencies that will get affected by the filter. With this pedal, you can also plug in an expression pedal. When you plug in the expression pedal, for the most part, it takes over some of the functionalities of the warp knob, so you can adjust that effect on the fly. In certain modes, that won't work because in those modes, it isn't time-based. And then you also have a tap knob. This affects the time it takes to get through a shape. So if you tap it quickly, you'll get through that shape very quickly. But if you tap it slowly, you'll get through that shape very slowly. So now I'm going to show you some of my favorite presets using the shape and mode knob. Okay, so now that we went over some of the standard functions on the Macrodose envelope filter pedal, let's go ahead and see how it sounds in a full mix. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, comment what other crazy things you want to hear us do with this envelope filter. And next week, I'll be putting out a video explaining how I dialed in the tone for this week's demo. So stay tuned for that. Hit the notification bell, all of that jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next one.